So yesterday we talked about how to use the perfect and pluperfect subjunctive, particularly with cum causal clauses, that is, using cum as a conjunction that could mean because or since. And we talked more about expanding our sequence of tenses chart so that we could talk about actions that occurred prior to the main verb as well, using the perfect and pluperfect subjunctive. But I wanted to talk through a couple specific examples so we could practice doing this exact process. So here's some examples from English into Latin because I think that makes us think through much more carefully what needs to happen. Let's look at that first one. Since he has asked me, I shall help him. So the first thing we're always going to do when we do these clauses is we're going to identify where the main clause is. So we have our cum clause, since he has asked me. Nicely set off by a comma. And we have our main clause, I shall help him. So the first thing we're going to think through is, I shall help him. What tense is this? Well, this is going to be first person singular future active indicative. And so if we're going to think through what future active indicative is, it's going to be from euo, to help, euo, euare. So the future active indicative of this will be euabo. I will help him. Whoops. Eum, I can spell. Euabo. All right, I will help him. And then we get to our cum clause. So, eum euabo cum, he has asked me. Well, we know me, accusative of ego. Now we have to think through this. All right, I will help him puts us in primary sequence. So does this occur at the same time or prior time? Since he has asked me in the past, I will help him in the future. This puts us in prior time. So if we think through our chart, primary sequence, same time uses the present subjunctive, prior time uses the perfect subjunctive. So we just need to think through what the perfect subjunctive of to ask is. So to ask, rogo, rogare, rogawi, rogatum. We're in the perfect subjunctive, so third principal part, rogawi, would give us the third principal part. And then since the perfect subjunctive, we have to add arim, aris, arit, etc. So since he, third singular, cum me rogaverit, there we go, cum me rogaverit eum euabo. So I will help him because he asked me in the past, rogaverit. Next sentence, since they were good, there's our cum clause, we are praising them, main clause. So let's start with our main clause. We are praising them, an action that is currently happening now. So present tense. To praise, laudo, but we are, laudamus, we are praising them, eos. Eos laudamus, we're going to assume our them here is masculine, but if you put eos, I'd mark it fine. All right, we are praising them since or because they were good. Well, we know they, we're assuming they're masculine, so we'll keep that as boni. Now we have to think through this. We are praising them now. We're in primary sequence. Since they are good now, or they were good in the past, okay, once again, this is going to be prior time. We are praising them in the current time because they were good in the prior time. So once again, we have to do the perfect subjunctive. So think through this. Since they were good, we are praising them. Third principal part of to be, fui. But since they were good, erim, eris, erit, erimis, eritis, erint, cum boni fuerint, eos laudamos. We are praising them because or since they were good in the past. Final one. We forgave him since he had repented. All right, let's think through this. We forgave. Ignosco, ignoscere, but forgive is third principal part, which is ignovi. And then we forgive, ignovimus, spelling again, oops, I can spell, ignovimus, him, to forgive someone takes a dative, so, ei ignovimus, we forgave him in the past, cum, since he had repented. Now, let's think through this. Past action puts us in secondary or historic sequence. So we forgave him. Is this occurring at the same time or prior time? Since he had repented. Oh, we're in prior time. So secondary sequence, same time would be the imperfect subjunctive. Prior time is the pluperfect subjunctive. So since he had repented needs to be a pluperfect subjunctive. But to repent is an impersonal verb. So technically we have to say, since it had repented him, we forgave him. So, eum, him, and then we need to think through our third principal part here. Well, if to repent in the third principal part, painituit, there we go. And then we have to turn it into a pluperfect subjunctive. So, issemus is assent, painituiset. Ei ignovimus cum eum painituiset. Since it had repented him, we forgave him. And there's 3 examples. So, example number 1, I will help him, primary sequence, juabo, prior time, perfect subjunctive. We are praising them, primary sequence, since they were good, prior time, perfect subjunctive. And the final sentence, we forgave him, ignovimus, perfect, secondary sequence. And since he had repented, prior time, pluperfect subjunctive. And that's it.